I've been hearing a lot of Celtics Twitter and other Celtics podcasts throw out that Neemias Queta is a top 10 NBA center, top 10, top 12.
Hmm.
And it's been making me feel like a bit of a hater recently. Because, listen, before the season, I was very high. I was early on Neemias Queta. I was like, he can
You
be a
were.
starting NBA center from day one. He had good run last year. He clearly has the tools. I spent way too much time figuring out because if you say Neemias Queta is a top 10 center, then there can't be 10 centers better than him. So I spent way too much time coming up with this list. I think I have him at 17th, which is that's
17.
I have him as the 17th best center in the NBA.
Okay.
And that's a good center. There's only 30 starting jobs in the league. This means he's average for a starter. And on a minimum contract, that's insane value. Like, he's definitely a top 5 value contract at the position. So before I was to get into the list, where did you have Neemias Queta? So I asked you to figure out a ranking before the episode.
Had him floating between 12 and 15, and I wanted to see your list to figure out where we deviated. I thought you would have him higher than me, honestly.
Really?
You've been the biggest Kata guy all year.
He's good.
He's
17 is good.
fantastic.
I will die on the hill that being the 17th best center in the world is a good thing.
Hmm.
I think when I looked at it and said how high could I get him, 12, 13 was like if I really wanted like the most homer take I could have would be like 12, 13. So now this is
And
just
by
centers.
Homer, do you mean that he's an advanced stats darling?
That's true. He is an advanced stats star. So this I left out power forwards. So if you played
That's kind of
majority
where
of
I
your
was like,
minutes at power forward. So I left Chet out. I left Draymond out. Like there's a few guys that could play center. They're not on this list. I kept guys who have had some injuries. Like if you've only played some games, I'm kind of giving a little bit of benefit of the doubt. But if you're
yep.
injured all season, like Walker Kessler wasn't considered. Okay, so stop me when I get to a guy that is not as good as Neemias Queta. So
This season
Nicole,
alone.
this season, Neemias Queta, Victor Wembanyama, Bam Adebayo.
You did start
What?
with Neemias Queta.
Oh,
You said
sorry, Nikola
Neemias
Jokic.
Queta.
I meant to
Nikola
say
Jokic
Nikola
is better. I'm not
Jokic,
going to argue that one. Yeah, yeah.
Nikola Jokic, Victor Wembanyama, Bam Adebayo, Jalen Duren, Anthony Davis, Carl Anthony Towns. Are you
You
stopping
said
me
if
already?
guys are somewhat injured, Anthony Davis is a better basketball player than Neemias
Yeah.
Queta. Do you want to do a side by side on how many games each of them has played?
Well, first off, Anthony Davis is faking an injury, so I didn't know how to count that exactly.
Yeah, I'm not putting him on this list because Neemias Queta has played more than 3 times as many games. Anthony Davis has played 20 games this season. Neemias Queta has played 64. That right there, yeah, you're a top center in the league when you play a quarter of the season. Like, that's
See,
crazy to me.
that's fair.
Talent wise, 100%. 100% healthy Anthony
I
Davis
think
is
when they're
way better than
healthy,
Neemias
Anthony
Queta.
Davis is clearly a better center. I don't know how to judge this one just because I don't think it's Anthony Davis's fault. He got traded to a team that pulled him out. Like, I think he probably would have ended up playing 50 games if he was for a
Did he
contender.
not also show up to camp overweight and out of shape and immediately get injured? Because
That's
that feels like
Texas
it was a little
barbecue's
bit his.
fault. That's
You
the
can blame
fault of
Texas barbecue
delicious
in
Texas
New
barbecue.
Orleans, it's gumbo, but listen, at the end of the day, like the dude's making $50 million a year. Like he can get a chef.
Okay, you want to take 80 off the list? We can take 80 off the list.
Again, not arguing talent, but this season, one of the biggest abilities is availability. And Anthony Davis doesn't have it, has never really had it, or at least, like, I don't know.
Now,
When you play 20 games out of 82, it's tough to be like,
how do you
yeah,
feel
that's a
about?
top 10 center.
Because I also had Joel Embiid on the list, and I
Joel Embiid,
felt
I'm more okay with because he
because that was
has
like
come back.
44 games.
Yeah.
44 games, averaging 27 and 7.
Yeah, the rebounding is a little weird, but the scoring is still there. The defense, he's a step slower, but he's still, a defensive anchor. Joel, I'm more okay with. Because I
Okay.
also, this is like a weird side thing, but I feel like Joel wants to play and Anthony Davis really does.
Do you want to play in Washington? I mean, that's a bad question. I would play if they offered me a minimum. I'd be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6, I have Carl Anthony Towns. 7, I have Alperen Şengün. 8, I have Isaiah Stewart, Beef Stew. 9, I have Isaiah Hartenstein. 10, I have Rudy Gobert. 11, I have Zubac. 12, I have Jared Allen. That's the first one where I was like, maybe there could be a case. But I think overall, with the better rim protection and the better scoring, I would lean Jared Allen. Then I have Joel Embiid, again 27 and 7. I put Donovan Clingan. He's putting up 12 and 12, 1 3 a game, 1.6 blocks. 15, I have Naz Reid. Like his scoring, rebounding. 16, I have Onyeka Okongwu, putting up very similar numbers. A little bit better of a rim protector and a little more switchable. Then I have Neemias Queta 17. And these are some guys that I think are like in the tier with Neemias Queta, but I put below. So Mitchell Robinson, Nick Claxton, Miles Turner, Wendell Carter Jr. And then there's the guys who have like just broken out at the same time as Neemias Queta. So it's hard to say which one's better, but like Kamara Malawach on the Suns, having a great year. Garrett Queen on the Pelicans was in Rookie of the Year considerations. Musa Diabate is having a great year for Charlotte Hornets. So I think there's like a conceivable list where he's in the 20 to 23 um area.
So I have some qualms.
Yeah.
First of all, I
I'm
love
here
me
for
some
the
Derek Queen.
qualms.
Derek Queen's good. Naz Reid is not better than Neemias Queta.
Interesting.
I think he might win sixth man of the year. He's not better than Neemias Queta. Uh, if we're doing by the center position, having that many fewer rebounds per game is a knock against you. Isaiah Hartenstein out. Absolutely not. I think Isaiah Hartenstein is very, very good. Has also played half the games that Queta has, and they have pretty similar numbers. And Neemias Queta is a better defensive player. Isaiah Stewart. I don't think I would put over Neemias Queta. In a vacuum, if you were like, who are you choosing as your starting center right now between the two of them, I would not pick Isaiah Stewart.
Isaiah Stewart might win Defensive Player of the Year this year. He's in the running for that and sixth man.
Yeah, I
That's
think Neemias Queta has anchored one of the most elite defenses in the league this year. His on-off number, like a lot of this is also it's eye test in terms of individual stats. Like Neemias Queta can have 2 blocks and a steal in a game and nobody will blink an eye. But it's also the advanced analytics of like what does a defense look like with Neemias Queta on the floor versus off the floor? And again, the Celtics who have built an identity around defense are a shell of themselves without Neemias Queta. Still a great defensive team, but he is the anchor of their defensive identity.
how much of that though is the drop off to the next center? Because like when Naz
Luka
Reid
Garza's
isn't
our
on the
all-star.
floor,
Yeah.
listen, there's no shame towards Luka Garza. He shouldn't be the second best player on. He shouldn't be the second best center on a team. Is all I'm saying.
When
He's a
we
third
win a
center.
title with Luka Garza as the second best center of our team, I expect you to eat some crow. That's
I'm
all
not
I'm
even
saying.
saying that can't happen. I'm not even saying that's impossible. But a lot of the guys you just named have better center options behind them. Like when Naz Reid isn't in the game, Rudy Gobert's in the game. So yeah, there isn't like a huge defensive drop off from one to the other. And that really helps you with advanced stats. Like a lot of teams we've seen before where they have kind of sold out for superstars and their bench is terrible, it'll really boost those superstars' advanced stats. Like I remember the first year LeBron went back to Cleveland. He had like some of the best advanced stats ever. He was the best player in the league, but they were measuring him over 37-year-old Richard Jefferson. And when you look at just on
Richard
offs,
Jefferson, never forget Christmas Day, dunked on Klay Thompson and dunked on Kevin Durant, and it was great.
it was. He had some moments. But sometimes what the advanced stats are telling you is what the distance is between you and the guy that's replacing you off the bench. And I don't think it's a full picture unless you know who that guy off the bench is. Like, a great example is Jokic. His advanced stats are down this year. And part of it is that they got Jonas Valanciunas. So they're not just without a center when he goes to the bench now. They have like a reliable backup big man. And in past years, it was like Aaron Gordon would try to play center, or they had like old Dario Saric coming in. Um,
Yeah.
Not even
No,
like
and listen,
prime
I'm
Dario
not.
Saric. Yeah.
I think it's also we spent part of the season without a defined backup center. Let us never forget the Josh Minot era, the Ugo at
R.I.P.
five era, the different lineups that we've had backing up Neemias Queta at the five. So I don't think it's necessarily always been like again, there was a month or so where Luka Garza did not play. I think what stayed stable and true throughout that whole time is when Neemias Queta is on the floor, like our defense is damn good towards the top of the league. And it's also, again, just the Isaiah Stewart, three fewer rebounds a game. Okongwu's a better scorer, but not as good a rebounder, not as good a defender, obviously not as efficient.
Defender, I might give a Conwell.
I think they're comparable,
Yeah.
but I think in terms of who's like anchoring an offense, or sorry, a defense.
Defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these guys, again, in a vacuum, like
It also
a
does
lot of
get
them,
close. Like I was saying,
yeah,
like the highest I could go is 12, the lowest is like 23. Like I think there's a pretty big kind of glut of like good starting centers in the league right now. And I think he's firmly worked his way into that. Which is kind of the most we could have expected from him.